Hello there. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 reaction is not happening because I already watched the trailer. So, I'm just going to talk about what I saw. And you know what? I'm excited simply because we're getting another movie of Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, if you watched my first Five Nights at Freddy's movie review, you know I had a lot of nitpicks about that movie. However, I'm still glad we're getting a movie about my one of my favorite horror franchises um that I can stomach, to be honest. Uh and I like the idea from the trailer, it looks like they're going off the idea that um there's some ghost hunters. I like the idea they're doing ghost hunters exploring an old Fnaf establishment, and it's all like haunted and stuff. I kind of like that idea. I'm glad they're going with that idea, but they're still bringing Abby, and there's gonna be a whole thing with Abby apparently. Um, I don't hate the idea of Abby, simply because obviously her name is kind of like a, if you rearrange it, is baby, but like I'm not sure if that means anything, considering how how Scott is. You know how Scott be. Scott likes to do things like that, but it doesn't really mean it's going to mean anything in the future. Um, so we'll find out. Uh, but I like the idea that they showed Mike kind of like looking at the Freddy mask and being like, "There's no way this is gonna work," and he puts on the mask to make it look like the toy animatronics are so okay. So what it seems like is that I'm not sure how the storyline of the movie is gonna go, but it seems like the toy animatronics is the new version that's public, right? Like people know of the toy animatronics and that this franchise has toy animatronics, and that's the ones that are active right now. So that's cool. I'm not sure how that's gonna play into the movie fully, um, because I'm curious on the timeline. What I'm really curious about is the timeline. It looks like it's been a while, um, because Vanessa and Mike are talking, or Michael is talking about the the situation in past tense, and kind of like it's been a while. Abby's still kind of, she's still, I don't know why is Michael enabling Abby why is he just giving her the things FNAF related? I'm confused. I don't understand. He's just giving her more FNAF toys. Like that's gonna make her get over this whole situation they just went through in the first movie. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like Mike is making such a weird decision like that. But that's just me. Um yeah, overall, I like the way the animatronics look. Um, the company behind making the animatronics and all these different props and stuff in a movie just looks so good. Like like dude, this stuff, like these toys and stuff that they're making looks so good. I honestly like the shot of Chica with her eyes glowing, like this. Oh, wow, honestly, it looks so good. I wonder if Matt Pat's gonna come back in this movie. I hope he does. That'd be so funny if he comes back and they go back to the same restaurant and he's just there again. Still, he's still working there. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I see the puppet. I see the puppet being creepy. I'm excited for the puppet because the puppet may be fun. The puppet may be actually creepy this time. I'm kind of hoping like the puppet actually is scary, because the puppet in the FNAF 2 game was terrifying. I fucking hated that puppet, bro. I'm really hoping that they really delve into the idea that the puppet is the creepiest motherfucker in this establishment. There is nobody creepier than the puppet. I don't care what animatronic you think is creepy. The unless you're talking about the FNAF 3 nightmare animatronics, the puppet is the creepiest one. And the nightmare animatronics aren't even like real. So like the one that's actually real is the puppet. And the puppet should be the creepiest motherfucker in this movie. The puppet should not, like, the puppet is the only one where I would believe is able to teleport. Okay? the fact that Golden Freddy and Fred Bear and them are able to teleport in the first movie was kind of weird to me. So not sure how they're gonna do about that. But I feel like the puppet should be the only one who's able to teleport. Genuinely, I'm okay with the puppet teleporting because it's the puppet. It's literally the one we know is controlled by a spirit actively. This puppet also isn't like animatronic. At least it wasn't supposed to be. I don't know if we ever got confirmation about that, but I don't know. I just really like the idea of the puppet being creepy, and it looks like this the puppet is genuinely being creepy in this movie, which I love. Everybody else looks cool. I'm very curious about um how like we also have Withered Bonnie here. We also have Withered. We have all the Withered characters. I think I haven't seen Withered Freddy. I've seen Withered Bonnie and Withered Chica. But Withered Chica looks a little odd. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I love the scene where she walks into the room where the puppet is. I love that. It's really cool. I would have been like, yeah, I'm not opening that present. I'm leaving, actually. I'm but I think they're introducing the movie with the ghost hunters specifically. So it can kind of like how they did with the first movie. They kind of had the guys go in there trying to steal something, and then all of a sudden you see them being creepy, seeing them being scary, which I actually think would have been a better movie if they would have just had it to where these ghost hunters is just the whole movie, and then Michael and Abby are just non-existent. I'm gonna be real with you, gang. I'm gonna be real with you. I'd rather this movie personally. That's what I would have done if I was in charge of this. I would have made it to where these ghost hunters would have been the movie. It would have been the whole movie of them trying to survive being in this place because they got locked in there because the puppet has control over electronics and stuff, right? I'll just give the puppet that ability, and they're just kind of like, and they walk in and they're stuck in there, or like they fall into like a hole and they fall down and they get into like the tunnels, and all of a sudden they're stuck in the tunnels, and all of a sudden like the toy animatronics and the first version of the animatronics are stuck in there with them, along with the puppet. Now they gotta survive and get out of there. That would have been a whole movie. I think I would have liked that personally. Personally, I would have enjoyed that better than having like Abby and Mike trying to like somehow get themselves back into the franchise or back into the. It's just odd. Like I'm not sure what Abby's importance is, but like we'll find out in the movie because this is just a trailer. I just really like the idea of the ghost hunters. Like this is a cool idea, but they refuse to fully go into it for some reason. They have to bring in Michael and Abby and Vanessa. It's just like, what are we doing? Whatever, whatever. They have to continue the first movie. I get it. I just wish that they just wasn't part of the whole thing. I just wish it was just like random people showing up to this old abandoned like you know uh Chuck E. Cheese esque place and just getting terrified because there's ghosts and people. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's my first assessment. It's coming out December 5th, so that's cool. Like I said, I love the set design. I see Mangle as well. I think Mangle is in here, which is really cool. I love to see like what it looks like um behind the scenes. I want to see how they made Mangle because Mangle is complicated. Uh, I understand the other animatronics, but like Mangle, yo, I gotta see how they made that behind the scenes. Um, and Mangle seems to be a uh pretty chaotic individual because Mangle's like on the roof of the truck and is like attacking them, and it's like okay, Mangle's actually more active than he is in the games. But yeah, I I applied. Like I said, I applaud the set design. I applaud the design of these characters. I applaud the way these characters look, the animatronics, like the real life like this shit looks beautiful. But the storyline, mm, mm, can't say I'm the biggest fan. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of how they do in the storyline, but I love the way it looks. It's a beautiful looking movie. Like the only reason I'll watch the first movie again is because the animatronics look so good. Like that's about it. And this movie is giving me the same vibe. It's like this shit, the set design and everything looks beautiful. I'm just not so sure about the storyline of the characters here. But like I said, that's my opinion. I think this is going to be a fun. It's going to make a lot of money. Let's be real. FNAF 2 is going to make a lot of money. They're going to make a FNAF 3. Okay? And I don't know how they're going to do the storyline after FNAF 3. I don't have no idea how they're going to do FNAF 3. I we'll find out what happens. We'll find out. We'll find out and we'll talk about it then, okay? But yeah, that's all I got for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the FNAF 2 trailer in the comments below, okay? I shall talk to y'all down there, all right? See you guys later. Bye-bye.